I had a rough day yesterday. I had one of those days where I had so much planned and then my body and my mind both just kind of said, nah, you're not doing that. You're going to spend most of the day on the couch. You're going to take a nap. You're going to cry. But it wasn't all bad. So let's talk about how to make the best of a disappointing situation. Let's talk about the good stuff first. So yesterday morning, a good friend of mine texted me a PDF from Jodie Jackson on future scripting. Neither of my two videos where I've talked about Jodie Jackson and future scripting had gone live yet. It just so happened that within like 72 hours of me, probably even 48 hours of me recording the first video about it, my friend sends me this PDF and tells me he thinks it's going to be useful for me. And I'm like, holy moly. Like, that is so wild. I just got like goosebumps all over my body. Like, okay, I'm on the right track with this. This is the universe doubling down and saying, yes, keep doing this. So that's exciting. And then that same friend, we continued our discussion and he asked if I felt like this was like the shedding process that I need to do before the next stage of my life. That wasn't his exact wording, but I can't remember his exact wording at the moment. It's close enough. And I said, yes, absolutely. I strongly feel that I cannot move on and like really start enjoying the next stage of my life until I have released, let go of absolutely everything that is not serving me right now. Everything from the past that I'm aware of and that I'm not aware of, I have to let it go before the door on my future will really open up. And I can't explain how I know that. It's just a very strong feeling. And I feel like synchronicities keep like, I don't want to say proving that, but validating that feeling. And on that note, so after recording yesterday's vlog and texting with my friend for a bit, I had every intention of getting outside and starting to do some yard work, but I just couldn't do it. I felt so tired, like I was having a hard time even keeping my eyes open. And finally, I was like, fine, I'm gonna go lay down on the couch. So I did that, and in order to not feel completely useless, I decided to go through some more photos while I was laying there, and I did a fair amount of that. And then I realized that my shoebox that I'm putting the photos I want to keep in was getting really full really fast. Like, there were way too many photos in there for the complete lack of a dent I've put in the pile on my floor. So I went through the photos in my shoebox again and pulled out, I think, close to half of them. And then I suddenly, looking at all these photos and seeing how they triggered memories of things, like seeing the house I grew up in, made me want to document the house I currently live in. And so I did that. I walked around and I took pictures of all the rooms that I love and specific aspects of the rooms, and pieces of artwork, and just like little areas, like collections of art, shelves. And in doing that, I suddenly paid much closer attention to one of my favorite pieces of art that I won in a silent auction. That was to benefit the owner of a salon I worked at who had stage 4 colon cancer. And I fell in love with this painting immediately, and I wrote my name down and a bid of $80, and I fully expected to be outbid. I kept going back to see if anyone else had put their name down and another bid so I could outbid them, and no one ever did. I was the only one that made a bid on this painting, and I got it for $80, and I can't even believe it because it's probably an $800 painting, I think. And I really like the artist. I have a couple of prints of hers also, and I wish I could remember her name. I remember her first name, I think. I think it was Heather, but her signature is illegible. And I don't think I have a card or anything of hers. I might reach out to the husband, owner of that salon, and ask him what her name is, because I would like to promote her. I just love her style, and this painting in particular has a place of prominence in my living dining room. And I realized when I decided that I needed to say goodbye to it, all these feelings that I didn't know I'd tied to it concerning the wife owner of the salon who had cancer, who I had a kind of difficult relationship with, and I had a really difficult time processing what she was going through and how I was dealing with it. I found her kind of a difficult person to get along with, and so I didn't visit her at the hospital as much as I could have, and I found her really overwhelming, and so I would kind of avoid conversing with her, but then I felt guilty about it because I knew that she was scared and lonely and needed empathy, and I just couldn't offer it to her, and so I felt like a really bad person, and like all of that came up while I was looking at this painting yesterday and thanking it for being a part of my life. And once I realized that all of this stuff was tied to it, I thanked it for storing all of that confusion and pain and grief for me until I could handle feeling it, which was yesterday. I bawled my eyes out. and um, and I forgive myself for not liking her. I forgive myself for not being there for her. I forgive myself for taking care of my own needs. And I don't think I'm a bad person for it anymore. I think it was just a really unfortunate situation, and she and I were just a bad, like, personality match. That doesn't make me a bad person, and doesn't make her a bad person. And I'm grateful that I knew her and that I got to work in the salon that she and her husband created, because it was a fantastic space with a pretty wonderful culture. And I just feel really lucky that I got to have that experience. So I am grateful to her. I am sorry that I was incapable of being a better friend to her, a better support to her in her time of need. Um, yeah, there's so much in this house that is that way. And I'm going through my house and touching all of these items and taking pictures of them felt really healing and important. Um, I also had a little ceremony, burnt some sage and blessed some water. I'm a Reiki master, and I've trained in shamanism. So I blessed some water with both of those modalities and poured it on the earth and thank the property for all of its safety and good times and support it's given to me. And I apologize for all the resentment I have harbored towards it, for all the work that it's required of me, all the money that it's required of me, all of the time. Yeah, I just made my peace with the property, with the house. At least for now. I have a feeling that I may need to do this multiple more times before I move out. So yeah, I did not work on the yard yesterday. But I think I did something equally important. And I just have to allow that not everything is going to get done. And even if it does get done, it may not get done on the schedule that I want it to, that I plan for it to. Yeah. And then on the note of feeling like I need to divest myself of everything before I can welcome in my new life, Emazia is a channel like a YouTube channel and a spiritual channel that I follow. And she posted a video yesterday talking about exactly that. Like she was like, you have to let go of everything you were before in order to become what you are becoming. And then this morning I read Emily from Raven Relics Tarot, her weekly email, which I don't read every week. I think the last one I read was maybe a month ago. But this week I felt really drawn to read it, and the two cards she pulled for this one were the Sun card and the Death card, which I instantly, before I even read her email, was like, wow, like, yes, like the Sun is like expansion and like achieving everything you want to achieve kind of thing, and the Death card is letting go of everything that is no longer serving you, ego death. And in that email, she said, nothing is free. Your new identity has cost you your old one. And I just, like, the synchronicities are just like piling up. It's incredible. And yet I still am finding it so hard to be gentle to myself. I got a comment this morning talking about how this person feels like perfectionism is getting in their way, and something else, and I'm just totally spacing on it right now. But yeah, I so feel you on that. I'm having a really hard time not beating myself up for not getting everything done, for not starting on the yard work, for not doing everything perfectly. But like I told her, recognizing that, seeing that, and accepting it without beating myself up for it is how my subconscious can start to slowly untangle and dismantle that perfectionism. Just knowing it's there and saying, okay, I see it. Is going to start the process of releasing it. It probably won't happen as quickly as I want it to. And then I'm going to have to acknowledge and accept that and allow that to unravel as well. Let's see here. And then lastly, I've talked a little bit about the YouTube changes that are coming February 1st of 2027. And I kind of joked yesterday with the Natalie Goldberg card that I pulled about how I started a YouTube channel and nothing happened. And I just want to clarify that that was a joke. I feel like a ton has happened. I mean, I even made an episode about that. But I want each and every one of you who watches me regularly or just started today, that I appreciate you and I don't think you're nothing. And again, the changes that I have made personally in doing this are also not nothing. They are definitely something, and they are something worth continuing doing this for. And then I watched a Timothy Ward video this morning in which he asked small creators not to stop and not to panic about the YouTube changes. And he said something that is so paradigm shifting, and I love it so much. It was like one of those moments where I kind of like felt everything just like kind of turned sideways in my mind, and I love those moments. He said, for a lot of people's careers, they go to 4 years of school or more, really expensive school. They spend hours and hours and hours of their lives learning about the career that they want to go into, but with no guarantee that they will get a job in that career or succeed. And you can look at the time you spend on YouTube as a free education. Like, if I spend 4 years doing this without getting paid, at least I'm not paying for it. And I will be learning the whole time, especially if I do it consciously and make an effort to learn and improve the whole time. And no matter what, the results of that won't be nothing. Even if I don't end up monetized, something amazing is going to come from that. Just from the intention and the consistency, something will come from that. So, yeah, I think that might be everything. So, I know that was a long, meandering talk. I hope you got something out of that and were able to stick with me throughout. Thank you for being here, and thank you for sticking through it if you did. Let's pull a Natalie Goldberg Writing Down the Bones deck card. We are on card number 50. You need to know this. Tell me what. Go. 10 minutes. And on the back. Tell me what I need to know. Go ahead. The way the green paint curled on the bathroom windowsill. The snow gathered in corners of the stoop. How mad I was at you. How I never liked the taste of anchovies. How when you smiled, the corners of your mouth turned down. How I don't believe in politics, but still campaign. How I wanted to travel, but only got as far as the Catskills. You can go on and on. All of our lives are worthy. All our moments. Share them on the page. And speaking of synchronicities, I feel like this card is a beautiful representation of what I just did verbally. So I hope you enjoy that little exercise, whether you do it via writing or speaking or both. Okay. Thank you so much for being here. May you be happy, may you be healthy, may you be wealthy, may you feel at ease, may you love and accept yourself exactly as you are, even if things are not going to plan. You are beautiful and wonderful, and I love you so much, and I will see you tomorrow. Bye-bye.